time to get started with the European Regional Championships. After this first match, again, we're finding out which team is going to the World Championships. It's either MOCKIT or Excel in this best of 7. With the commentaries, Wave, Punk, and Lawler, take it away, guys.
Get up and get loud. It's game day. We've got a great day here of Rocket League ahead of us for the European Regional Championships. And we're starting off with a rematch of a match we had at the end of league play that went all the way to game 5, down to the wire, and was basically decided by the performance of a lifetime from Pashy, the absolute monster there. So here we'll get to see them. The desk was entirely on MOCKIT's side, I think mostly due to the explosive offense we saw there from MOCKIT. But when this series went to game 5, these teams played very, very close. I'd be very surprised if it's as one-sided as the desk kind of made it sound there with their predictions.
A lot of them are saying it's going to be that one side because of how MOCKIT did play last week. They are heating up at the right moment, very reminiscent of last season as well, where it was at a point where before MOCKIT was like kind of iffy during the season, and it was a completely different roster at that point too. But Pasher was on the receiving end of that and knows what it feels like to miss out just shy. I mean, you talked about how that series as well, super close. Shots were within one of each other, saves within one of each other, both favoring MOCKIT. So we'll see how this matchup plays out in this best of 7.
Yeah, MOCKIT barely missing out last season, but when you talk about a team that missed out, Excel, formerly known as Cownose, went 1-6 in league play. And now they have the opportunity to do what they did not have the opportunity to do last season. So both teams with a lot of motivation here in our first best of 7 of the day. The winner qualifying the Season 4 World Championships. Starts with MOCKIT on the offense. Pashy to set it up on top of the backboard and sends us over to the side. Freaky gets demolished by Pondex in the midfield. Will remove the immediate offensive pressure from MOCKIT. But soft touches from Zenzis and company here. Gonna give MOCKIT back ball control. Freaky looking for Fairy Peak. Now cleared back into the blue. First time we'll see Excel here up on the offense.
Easily played into the corner, just kind of feeling each other out here.
4 players up. Nielsko could possibly make a shot. Does he? Oh, he does. Look at that. Gets it underneath. Even though he's got interference coming through from Pashy, Excel will score first.
Simple as that. You see all 4 players going up. Nobody else to contest. Freaky's got to try to make a save from behind. Just can't get the right angle. Open net for Nielsko.
It looked like he and Pashy like high-fived each other in the air as they like drove past in the slow-mo and the replays. Like, ooh, that's a boy.
Yeah, I'm sure they're saying other things though on the way by.
They're not happy about it. Pashy's like, no, don't do it.
In slow-mo.
Well, as this team double commits like that, does leave the shot open, and well done to Nielsko to get that shot off. We heard from Nielsko in his interview on Overtime. He felt like there's no way Pashy has another performance like he did in the last week. But here we go, Pashy right off the bat, tying up the games, and the birthday party happens.
Yeah, just really simple pass play coming out. You see 2 committed again in the corner for Excel. Just the patience from Freaky in that back, plays it up top to Pashy, who's waiting patiently. Just puts a good shot far post.
Excellent placement there from Pashy to tie up the game here. MOCKIT tying it within the first minute and a half. Now first third kickoff here. Fairy Peak driving it into the box on the top of Zenzis. He just has to stop it, and Freaky, no, just misses just wide, and Pashy will flip down to give himself the opportunity to read Pondex, realizing he didn't have a shot there. Freaky over towards Fairy Peak in the corner. Freaky will play it himself. Fairy Peak down with the follow. The 50-50 goes in his favor and towards the box. Pondex will play it across the field, and Zenzis will tap it over the top of Pashy. Good teamwork here from Excel to eliminate that front line defense from MOCKIT. Get the ball into the back half. Let's go around the corner. Fairy Peak's got to play this one away. Goes straight up. Pondex could possibly make a shot here, but intercepted by the MOCKIT defense. They'll play it away from their box, try to transition onto offense.
MOCKIT needs to be careful in front of their own net there. Just a couple opportunities for Excel to punish them. Just playing a little bit slow. The touch is not as clean as we saw last week. But with only 2 minutes passed so far, still plenty of time for these kind of get in the groove.
Pondex and Zenzis teaming up to move the ball into the corner. With nobody pressured, Fairy Peak will be able to single-handedly move it all the way back down the field. Now Pashy to pass in the middle. Freaky to take a shot over the top. Nielsko gets up just in time, sends it away, and keeps us tied up. Approaching halftime here in game 1, best of 7. First to 4 games will take the win here.
Great pass plays coming out from MOCKIT so far. Just quick 1 passes inside and then a shot on net. Just a matter of getting that follow-up afterwards once they draw that initial defender out.
Shot from Freaky, a bit wide. Made Zenzis flip anyways. Neilscoke's shot will also be wide. Pashy will pick it up, goes for the dribble. Got Fairy Peak in the middle here, who gets bumped into enemy territory, but both Neilscoke and Pondex committing together. This will give MOCKIT time to move up here. Freaky onto the backboard. Nobody in a good position. Pashy should be able to finish this one off, and it does go in. 2-1 now for MOCKIT.
Fantastic placement from Pashy as well. Just one touch after another from his team, consecutive, drawing another 2 defenders out. And then it's just unfortunate. Neilscoke up on that back wall. Nothing he can do about it, but even still, Pashy playing against the way these guys are moving, making it so difficult for them to make a save.
Yeah, the MOCKIT transitions in the corners have been excellent. The way that they've been able to win 50-50s there, eliminate at least one defender every time. Usually the backline defense, though, gets the clear immediately following. And that time they missed, so MOCKIT able to score. Neilscoke with a loft. Freaky moving up. He'll send it onto the backboard. Pondex misses, and this will give some space for Fairy Peak, who bumps Zenzis. He does not make the shot. Pashy out to Freaky, shot towards net, and that'll go in. 2-goal lead now for MOCKIT.
Just confused in net on this back when you see Pondex trying to go and make a contest here and gets beat out by it. Gets the boost instead, but then Neilscoke is just kind of flopping around. Not exactly sure what he needs to do there, and it just leaves another opportunity for this MOCKIT team to extend their lead.
When you make the 2 complete misses there on the defense, it's going to be the options are there for MOCKIT. And now with 1.5 minutes left to go, they've got the lead in game 1. And this is significantly more of a marathon than our usual league play games as a best-of-7. But this is a good way to start. Pashy out, the demo at midfield. See Freaky, he just actually kind of pops it out. Pondex, oh, what a save! No way! It's still dangerous. Can they get it away? They do! Oh, and Pashy's got the breakaway opportunity now. Can he get it down the field to secure the game? Pondex will send it to the side and eliminate that immediate threat. But what a play. The goal was basically going in, and then somebody, I don't remember who, bumps Fairy Peak, and he's able to make the save on the far post, and then they get the clear. What a crazy sequence of events.
I mean, similar to last week as well in their matchup, it's just this team was neck and neck with shots and the ability to put goals on net. They just couldn't find the back because of this defense again from MOCKIT.
Pashy getting that one away, and with 37 seconds left, this defense is going to give the win to MOCKIT right now, as they forced the clear downfield from Excel. Only 30 seconds remaining, still down by 2. It's been all MOCKIT so far here in game number 1. Pashy in the corner, we'll let this Zenzis ball roll by. And I do feel like this game came down to some simple things. The MOCKIT defense, and then just the ability to finish. That goal, despite the crazy defensive plays that happened to get that one away, there was still a shot opportunity in that first ridiculous scenario that should have been able to go in there from Excel. One will finally go in here on the buzzer beater, but it's not enough to change it as the clock has expired. You can see the full zeros there. There'll be no kickoff after this, and it will be MOCKIT taking game number 1.
No, you're exactly correct, Wave. It's just that ability to finish. It felt rushed towards the end there. Got to give credit, though, to the MOCKIT's defense. Despite that, and those shots just one after another, they still put themselves in the right position to make those saves to keep them back on top. Game 1 going to MOCKIT in this best-of-7. A good start for them.
And you can see Pashy up there, 2 goals on 4 shots. He had 40% shooting percentage throughout the league. I think that's number 1 in the entire league. And he continues that here with 50%. You can take a look at, again, just this was crazy. The end of this game, the way that the defense played here. Freaky gets this one off, and then it's going in, and Fairy Peak gets bumped by Pondex. The ball's still halfway in the goal, and Freaky gets up just in time to block it away, put it over the top of Zenzis, and then Pashy sends it all the way back down the field.
I mean, that awareness by Freaky to not only realize, like, okay, these guys are both backwards, they can't make the save. I have to double back and use the only 8 boost I have to get up and make that play. That's just team effort and not giving up. You know, you have to make those subtle plays to, you know, make the difference happen for these teams. So well played by Freaky to get involved in that one.
The ball was like halfway in the goal as it touched like the post, and then the crossbar, and then the post again, and then the crossbar again, and like it was it's just so close.
Can you imagine Pondex though? Like just that he gets that bump, and that's the reason why it's saved initially. It's just he's trying to make something happen. He's like, all right, guys, I'm gonna get him out of the way. It's gonna be wide open, saved. Like
saved on like a pool save there. Not at all what you want to have happen. And if that had gone in, and then they were able to get the buzzer beater, they did get there at the end. We'd be in overtime right now, but as it is, game 2 here, the first one going to MOCKIT. Excel will have to look to bounce back here. Pashy's set to go on the kickoff. Both teams going for the cheat up. And one out by Excel. Pondex had moved up and gotten the demo on the Fairy Peak, but lost ball control. Ball still spinning time. The blue box. box as Pashy will get a clear up. Freaky to follow first. He'll get it over the top of Neil Skok. They should be able to press this into the orange. Ball spending a lot of time near the ceiling on that transition. Two players tangled up in the corner. Complete loss of momentum and speed there. But off the pinch, Neil Skok to Pondex. Be able to move it back into the blue. Now Freaky out towards Pashy. Beat up in the cherry pick. Shallow cherry pick, flicks it over the top of one, up in front of the goal. Freaky over to the side. What looked like an easy goal finish there. Not going to come through from MOCKIT. We'll stay scoreless.
It looks like it caught that corner just a little bit. That flick was great. It got that last defender out of net, but that bounce was weird. It went to the right instead of straight back out. Just a difficult recovery.
Pondex and Neil Skok teaming up again. Fairy Peak will intercept in the middle. Send it over to the side. Now Freaky to follow. Over the top of Pondex, drop straight down. Zenzis has the read. Put it into the corner once more. Looking for goalies. Fairy Peak was airborne. Neil Skok can now take another shot. It'll be Freaky over the side. Pashy the pinch to Freaky. Pass back up towards Pashy. Pashy over the top of Neil Skok. It's still lofted. Higher than Fairy Peak light, so he'll fall back. See if he can get a challenge. Back and forth right now in game one. At this point, we'd already seen both teams score in the first game, so game two shaping up a little bit differently here as both teams strengthening those back defensive lines.
Yeah, a big difference though for Excel this match is they're playing up quite a bit more. The midfield defense really helping out. Applying some of that pressure, but it's Excel team having difficulty stopping that two-man passing clear that MOCKIT has been so good at.
This the shot towards net. No, nearly goes in again. The defense a bit of muck, and Neil Skok will drop a nice soft one back into the box. But Fairy Peak to Freaky, and then to Pashy. The team plays again. You talked about the team clears. Here comes another one. Pondex is cleared, just actually lofts it above the net. He'll need to follow this one along, and he does get it away. And now on the retreat, MOCKIT fall back. See if they can keep this one going. Fairy Peak is a bit confused in the midfield, but Freaky's there to help him out, and he'll put it all the way into the corner. It sends us in net for Excel. As Freaky and Fairy Peak move up on the offense. Pashy now lurking at the midfield. Looking for an opportunity to move up. And these nose punts from Excel, just to loft the ball straight back up. Doing work to kind of move the MOCKIT players out of position. But so far, they have resulted in very few scoring opportunities. Zenzis with a nice pass here. Pondex not going to be able to do anything with that, though.
I mean, those really high pass-ups that you're talking about are great because they buy them time, but at the same time, anybody who commits to that is exerting a ton of boost to go up and make a play. So risk and reward coming out, but for them, it's just to buy them a little bit of time so they can move back into position as Pashy's going to put a shot on net.
What a play. Look at him go back and forth around the ball here, faking out the defenders. They don't know whether he's going to pass or whether he's going to shoot. Goes to one side and then comes right back in.
Power slide, my goodness.
Absolutely beautiful play from Pashy to give MOCKIT the lead.
Just swooping into position. Yeah. Gorgeous play.
Fantastic stuff. He has just completely lit up here at the end of Season 5. Having the performance of his life. Freaky over the top of one open net, sends it towards the goal. Neil Skok can get back in time as it dropped down. And had a bounce before it went in. Fairy Peak now to Freaky. The team passes in the air. The defender will miss and Pashy will finish it off. Sends it back in. 2-0 MOCKIT.
Exactly like you stated, Wave. Just that defender missing on the back end. Freaky has a good touch off that wall, driving Zenzis up. But then Pondex flips out of the way. It looks like he was trying to go for a double aerial to get up and make a save, but just feels backflip, man, and he fades into the distance.
Feels side flip, just sends him away.
I mean, it looked pretty.
Yeah. These cars flipping are always so acrobatic.
Supersonic acrobatic, possibly.
Yep. Oh, whoa, Neil Skok with the dunk underneath. Here's another defensive miss that forced a player to try, Fairy Peak, I believe, to try and make the last stop here, and Excel gets on the board.
Yeah, Zentz is actually just getting in the way there. He plays it down, and then that miss you talked about initially, but he didn't give up there, just kept going with, trying to be kind of a nuisance in that field, just get in the way. He does get a slight bump on one of those last defenders. He's just able to swoop in and make a play.
With that goal, they'll make it a one-goal game. Can they tie it up? No, the shot just barely wide from Pondex. Freaky in the corner, applied by Zenzis. Fairy Peak gets it over the top of Niels. Now he and Freaky moving up together as a pair. Pashy sits at midfield. Offensive positioning from MOCKIT. And yeah, the punt game from Excel has been very, very strong. And you talked about it, like it buys them time to get in position. But unless they draw out a defender, it's also buying time for MOCKIT to prepare. So it's kind of it's a good strategy, but it's very situational, and they can't just always punt. It can't just be their go-to move.
Yeah, it just allows them to just kind of sit back and be like, all right, how do we want to play this, guys?
Yep. Pashy will drop this one to Fairy Peak. Final minute here of game 2. Right now, MOCKIT leading in the series and in the game. Neilskoog takes a shot. It blocked by Pashy, but Pondex could possibly get a tight angle to drop it back in. Pashy misses, and Neilskoog will put it through. Actually, this one is getting credited to Pondex here. How did this go in?
A beautiful pass over to the side from Pondex. Ends up being a shot simply because Freaky at the, or not Freaky,
it was Freaky came in across there.
Trying to get underneath to make a save, but
yeah, trying to get in the way of Neilskoog there. I mean, it technically was an own goal, but I think at this one we'll credit it absolutely to Excel. As they were able to find the holes in the defense and tie up the game. 30 seconds left now. Can they tie up the series? Sends the pass to Pondex, a good play in the midfield, but they miss the second touch. Pashy will get it all the way down. Neilskoog will have the second touch off the backboard. And Pondex to keep the ball transitioning around. Freaky will keep the pace on it. Perseus direction, a 50-50 in Neilskoog's favor. He was over the top. It's the final countdown happening. Excel, one last chance to finish it here in regulation. Pondex misses, but Neilskoog with the shot. It's wide, and Pashy out to try and finish this one and send it away, put it into the ground, send us to overtime as Excel still pressuring. They got a buzzer beater in game 1. Can they do it here in game 2 and get a win this time? No, overtime in game 2.
Again, Excel having issues finishing. They had 2 shot opportunities just wide. Could have closed it out. But Zenzus with a shot over the top. He's going to end it quick.
They've been both using the cheat up kickoff, and it's been mostly going in Excel's favor. And here it gets them a win. Zenzus with the cheat, and then 2 quick touches over the top of Freaky. That's Excel tying up the series.
Risky play as well. He has the chance to just take his time there, but he wastes none whatsoever. No hesitation, catches him off guard, and Excel ties up the series. What a play.
Absolutely well done. And it was they used those kickoffs very well. And I think MOCKIT maybe moving forward wants to change up their kickoffs, because right now, when it comes to the cheat up, Excel is beating them consistently.
Yeah, it just seems to be that a lot of it has to do with MOCKIT just not completely committing to it. They kind of do this weird shadowing. We saw it last week a lot out of Pashy, where he kind of halvesies it. Like, I don't know if that's the best way to say it, but he doesn't fully commit to it. He just sits back a little bit. But if you're going to cheat up, why not go for it? Just make sure that last defender, instead of going for boost, stays in net. I know you're a big proponent of that. Just stay in net. It's fine. Well, you don't need the boost.
Well, but you saw here, though, that like the staying in net didn't even make a difference in this situation, as Zenzus was able to make the shot over Freaky, I believe it was. He was just sitting in there. He played the defensive play, but when the cheat up works that well, there's almost nothing the defender can do. He just has to read the shot well enough, and has to guess where his opponent's going to shoot, because at that point it is totally on Zenzus. He has everything's in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, it completely caught that defender off guard as well. I mean, you saw him, he jumped up and he's just like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. It's like soccer. We're just like, okay, I'm just gonna block this side and just hope I guess correctly. But what a game there. Excel out shooting MOCKIT. It was like 10-4, I believe, was the shot differential there, but still a very close game. Only 5 goals, though 2 of those shots from Pashy went in. 100% shooting percentage from Pashy there in game 2.
Not slowing down whatsoever from last week.
Well, game 3 set to go here. We're all tied up at a game apiece. First of 4 wins takes the win here. Neilskoog off the kickoff here. Drop it to Pondex. Takes a shot towards Nim. Pashy sends it away. Sends us to wrap it around Freaky. Drop it back to the box. Pashy has to loft it high. Freaky with the follow. He'll fake out Pondex, but Neilskoog was deep in enemy territory and will be able to keep this one in the blue box. This time Freaky makes contact, sends it out to midfield. Sends us with the pass back, but Freaky, Fairy Peak there, having the read. Gets a pass too, lofts it high. Pashy will look for a shot opportunity, but won't find it. Zenzus gets a touch over the top, back out to midfield. Freaky will keep the offense going.
Getting lucky on that one is MOCKIT. Everybody was pretty low on boost. That slight hesitation just gives Excel a little bit of time.
Nice plays by Fairy Peak in the midfield to get past the 2 frontline defenders, but ultimately lost ball control. Fairy Peak up towards Pashy. Puts it into the corner, follows it himself, puts it back into the box. Fairy Peak nearly had the read. What would have been a crazy team play. Fairy Peak up on the wall will miss. Freaky will move up though. See Excel respecting the midfield presence from MOCKIT.
This game has become so reactionary. Even that slight miss forces both players on Excel to back off. These guys respecting their opponents so very well.
Fairy Peak down towards Pashy. Puts it over the side. Pondex and Freaky demo each other in the midfield, which means nobody's in the back right now for MOCKIT. Can Zenzus get over the top of Freaky? He does so, but it goes high, and Pashy will send it away. Beautiful plays there from Excel, but just so close still not going to come out with the goal.
Again, Zenz is trying to do some solo plays. It's opening up so many chances for his teammates. He's not able to find the back of the net, but the pressure is on.
Pondex chasing this ball, go for the back pass, and he'll find it. Back with Zenz, then Fairy Peak straight down to Neilscope. Pashy will bail him out and send it away in what was kind of an abysmal clear straight to the shooter. Pashy who keeps us scoreless here. Pondex another demolition and goal. Excel getting more and more physical here in game 3. Neilscope tries to bait in Fairy Peak, but ends up getting demolished for his efforts. He'll spawn in the far corner, which will fit him right into the rotation for Excel. They still got to get the clear. This Freaky and Fairy Peak are doing work. Approaching halftime here in game 3. Still scoreless. Pondex will play this one over to the side. Pashy looking for Fairy Peak in the middle, tries to wrap it around.
Speaking of wrap around, that boy's just running hot laps right now.
Ooh, look at the shot from Pashy. His first shot of the game goes straight in there, and MOCKIT's got the lead.
I legitimately wish we could see a heat map of Pashy because he went from corner to corner, side to side like 4 times, just constantly staying in motion till an opportunity presented itself. Just difficult to defend when the guy's never not moving. He probably went through a solid 300+ boost there.
Again, the cheat-up kickoffs. Both teams go for it. Excel wins out, and now Neilscope with an opportunity to score. He'll put it through. They got it past. The last defender kind of moved out very early and missed contact. You'll see him fly past the ball there on the touch from Neilscope. And that is Zenzis and company here. Excel tying it up.
Yeah, really difficult situation for MOCKIT to try to make that save as well. Just Neilscope playing it well. Good touch after another. He gets set up by his teammate and just, rather than taking any chances with the dribble, he smashes it into the corner, plays right back out to him, and then an easy touch near post.
And we finally see MOCKIT win the cheat-up kickoff. Fairy Peak over to the side. Freaking out to the backboard. Pashy to follow it here, but Pondex able to get it past. Fairy Peak falling back should be able to get this one away, but Pondex missing there was critical for MOCKIT, because their defense was still rotating back quickly on the retreat. Now Fairy Peak to Pashy. Can they connect here? It'll go over the top and drop back down. Freaky has the opportunity, and it's loose right in front of the net. Neilscope will play to the side, and Fairy Peak in the midfield's thinking about moving up, but doesn't want to fall prey to a long booming shot from Excel. Here comes Zenzis over the top. The nice touch over. Can they finish it? No. The backflip sends it away. Pondex in with the shot, but a full stacked box there from MOCKIT. We'll clear it out. We'll stay tied up.
Crucial save as well. That flick just buying enough time as it was shot immediately back in. This MOCKIT team's defense still showing up as Excel applying this pressure. You talked about it, how they're playing a little bit faster. The shots starting to go in their favor. It's exactly what they needed. Most of their games last week, they got the victory simply by limiting the amount of shots and opportunities that Pashy had as Fairy Peak with a double touch it in.
Look at this touch over the last defender and then finishing it off himself. He started in his own box, gets 1 touch, 2 touches, and then 3 to give MOCKIT back the lead.
And he still gets a little bit of celebration for himself at the end. Hooray!
That goal is so, it's amazing.
It's my favorite one by far.
It's fantastic. Fairy Peak now with an opportunity to get, nope, never mind. Neilscope says, hey, go over there. I don't want you near the ball. Get away.
We saw, I think it was Garrett do that to Squishy yesterday where he signed him at the Starbase Arc.
It was gone. Neilscope with the screenplay here. Pondex gets it past 1, tries to play it through, but Fairy Peak from the back will send it away, and now Pondex in the net of MOCKIT. He's going to have to fall back quickly. It's Fairy Peak and Pashy falling down. Neilscope trying to do his best, but Fairy Peak will connect with Pashy. They'll put it through, making a 2-goal lead.
Really good unselfish play coming out here from Fairy and Pashy. Just waits for that opportunity from Niels. Niels is in a tough position. He's got to play that outside, but Fairy Peak reads it perfectly. Just sits there, waits, plays it back inside, and an easy shot from Pashy. Just feed the ball to Pashy is what it seems to be for this team, and it's working out well.
And the defense just wide open there as Pondex was trying to commit. They have to score there in the final minute here, but he ended up in enemy net, which just increases the amount of distance he has to cover just, considerably there as this one goes back in front of the box again. Zenzis will get the clear with 21 seconds left. Comeback still possible, but they really need to score right now. Pashy in the corner. Slow down, actually gets bumped by a Fairy Peak. Pondex will wrap this one around, but Zenzis backing off, seeing Freaky there. And as the final countdown happens, it will be MOCKIT taking game number 3. If we can see Zenzis put in 1 more goal here, they had a buzzer beater at the end of game 1.
Yeah, a lot of it had to do just with this MOCKIT team pushing up really hard.
If they were able to, I mean, we will not. That would be the third game in a row we would have had to end at 3-2. But this one, 3-1 going in favor of MOCKIT. Now one game closer. Still got to win 2 more, though, to get the win here over Excel and qualify for Season 4 LAN.
Not much has changed from last week, Wave. Just back and forth again between these two teams, keeping it similar. Stat lines across the board. Shots are pretty even. Saves are pretty even. It just seems to be that both these teams kind of have an inkling for how the other plays, and it's just a matter of, you know, who scores first in this circumstance. Yeah,
I mean, you can see, you know, Pashy there again. Second game in a row, he's had 100% shooting percentage, and that is the score line of a dedicated third. Pashy, who's always in the back, and he's only moving up when he really feels like it's possible for him to make the plays happen. So he's taking the shots that really mean a lot. Very much a Fireburner style of play from like Seasons 2 and 3. So these guys just on fire right now. Pashy playing as good as he did last season, not putting up the monster numbers, but putting up the numbers he needs to have here. A 2-goal win over Excel. Excellent. This is exactly what they need right now.
Yeah, it's great the way that Pashy is playing. He's just moving the field constantly and then just allowing his teammates to set him up. And a lot of it is from Fairy Peak's positioning. Just reading the ball correctly and putting himself in a stance where, okay, as soon as you make this touch, I can play this back out to a teammate and we can punish you for it. And that's been the interesting thing, is it hasn't had to be a follow-up. It's just an initial 1-2 and in. They don't have to apply this constant siege-style pressure that we normally see to where they finally give out on boost and then they score. So it's been just quick touches, catching these guys off guard for both sides of the pitch.
And now the trend has been back and forth between these two teams. So, you know, the pattern would say that Excel is going to win next.
You never know, man, with you.
You never know, especially between these two teams. It's been so close. So goes down Fairy Peak. Pondex who picks it up. And a ping pong to start off game 4. Pashy will take some open space there. Just everyone was around the ball, just not wanting to touch it. He'll move in, sends it back towards the box. Touch from Freaky. Fairy Peak off the wall, lost control, but he's able to bump Pondex, or Neilscope, who kind of messed with Pondex, and that'll leave Freaky some space here on the punt. Pashy back to the corner. Pondex will be there first. He puts a pass 1. Fairy Peak with the 50-50 win. Pashy with the read. MOCKIT slowly regaining ball control here as they move into the corner. Fairy Peak with a nice catch. Put it past Neilscope. Now Pondex and Zenza's all tangled up. Neilscope gets sorted himself back out and nearly finds Pondex on a breakaway transition goal. This one won't go in the first minute. We'll come and go quietly here in game 4.
Good clear coming out as well. Pashy only with 5 boosts in the back there. Gives him some time to get that corner boost. But he throws away possession right back to the team. It just, again, not being able to finish these touches. A little bit awkward for Excel. If they clean those up, it might be a different story altogether.
Freaky with a long clear. Pondex hung in the back. Excel here in game 4 rarely committing more than 2 players on the offense. As you can see, all 3 MOCKIT players deep in enemy territory, and this could open up the net. Zenzas takes the shot and does put it in. They had really committed hard on that drive and hadn't gotten anything for it. The breakaway goes in Excel's favor.
That's the danger of applying that kind of pressure. As you mentioned, they commit 3, and all it takes is a quick counterattack, just immediately downfield and a touch on net. Nothing special, just the pace of it and the speed to go from one side of the field to the other, punishing this MOCKIT offense.
First time we've seen Excel score first. At least in the last 2 games, I do not remember who scored first in the first game. Pashy with a shot towards the net. Zenzas will block this one away. Very Peak now. Wrap it around. First time we've seen Pashy take a shot that was defended. At least 3 games. Freaky over towards Fairy Peak. A shot towards the net. Beautiful placement. Connecting on the pass. It looked like there'd be enough defense to be able to get in the way, but no, they're going to tie up the game.
Just a quick 1-2 yet again. 2 players out in that corner, and he plays it right towards them, and both of them just seem like they're waiting. Okay, the pass is over here. We can get the ball and clear it back out, but just a quick jump up and playing it back to where it came from. But aimed at the net. All tied up 2 minutes through game number 4. One of these teams trying to get that edge over and put themselves closer to match point.
This has happened nearly every game with these teams, tying it up at the first goal.
Pretty quick responses all around.
Yes. And there has been quick ties as well. Freaky with an opportunity to get it past Pondex. He'll put it into the corner. Now Neilscope at the top with his own teammate. Fairy Peak and Pashy working together. Move it past Niels. Try to get it past Zen here as well as it goes into the corner. Pondex. Freaky Lofting it back as he just came out to midfield. He's got it above the box, and Fairy Peak goes up, puts it over the top. Pondex isn't there, and Pashy in to clean it up, misses the shot wide. Something we have not seen Pashy do in a long time, and not, for the last 2 weeks or so, he's been on fire, and that one, an easy one as Pondex missed, and we'll stay tied up.
That goal was a freebie from Pashy. Uncharacteristic of him the past 2 weeks to miss that shot. It was set up perfectly by his teammates. Draws that last defender off that backboard, and then just a miss altogether. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite this MOCKIT team, but Excel has got to be happy about that as Zenz is trying to set one up in the middle himself.
Tried to do it himself. Neilskog had not quite the best read. It wasn't immediately going in if Zenzis missed, but Pashy now back out towards midfield. Niels into the corner. And Freaky with a clear. Fairy Peak sits in net as Zenz takes a shot towards the goal of MOCKIT. Fairy Peak got that clear. He'll move it down the field. Into the corner with Niels. Freaky up, gets the kill down in front of the net. Fairy Peak to take a shot. Freaky can make the follow-up here, but Pondex follows along, just shadows the ball, and blocks all the shots that Freaky had. Now Pashy up to try and play it away from his net. 1:12 left to go. We're still tied up at 1 apiece.
Pondex playing a really unique role for this team. He's going for a bunch of demos on the front to draw out defenders. Instead, he's taking them out himself. Then he's also rotating back quick to make these crucial saves. And then you see him again just moving up. He is everywhere he just needs to be. Just kind of filling in as needed. As Zenzis seems to be the driving force of this offense. Neilskog trying to be the finisher. We just haven't been able to see it all connect on all cylinders just yet.
Neilskog looking to put it into the middle. Sends it into the corner. Fairy Peak to try and wrap this one across his own net. He followed along, and then Freaky with a nice clear. It'll be Niels in the back as Pondex goes for the back pass. Up towards Zenzis. The team play from Excel. Can they make this work? Niels will put it in the corner. Freaky just trying to wait it out, drawing 2 players. Got to pass Pondex, but Niels always well positioned. European MVP here. Pondex up. 1 demo in net, now 2 demos in net. Freaky gets the touch away, but he's got to be able to get another stop here. Oh no! What was it, Zenzis that put that high?
Yeah, it would have been saved probably by that last defender, but 5 seconds left. These guys can play into 0-second time for the win.
They can, if they can just keep this one up and alive. They will not. They'll let it touch in our second overtime of the series here in Game 4. You know Pashy is still kicking himself over missing that open goal, so the game would already be over.
Well, last time we went to overtime, Excel scored in only 4 seconds with the help of Zenzis getting that cheat up. But different story this time is Pashy's trying to play one on top. Hits crossbar. And transition quickly downfield by Excel.
Freaky hung in the back this time, wanting to fall prey to another transition goal from Excel. That was what tied up the game. Pondex and Zenzis. Across the midfield line, Zenzis going for the soft carry towards the net. Pashy will play it down, and Pondex up. Here comes Fairy Peak, moving it down the field. Neilskog had hung in the back. He'll look for Zenzis, doesn't find him. Freaky back out. Neilskog with the kill, but Fairy Peak with the read. Now Pashy airborne alongside Fairy Peak onto the backboard. Pondex plays it to the corner. Freaky hanging in the back will be able to keep the offense going as he wraps it back around. Gets the demo on the goalie. Pondex back towards his own net. He was definitely looking for the back pass that wasn't there because of that demo from Freaky. Now Zenza's not in a good position. Fairy Peak could possibly play this one in. Defense from Excel holding on right now. The first minute of overtime comes and goes. Dropping back down. MOCKIT looking for goalies. Freaky in the corner will send it back into the middle. But Zenzis Neilskog pinching it back down the field. Fairy Peak to play it back in the middle.
Even though that back pass wasn't to anybody, at least he put it in a spot that wasn't too dangerous. Oh my goodness.
Neilskog barely there in time. They're able to get it away. Freaky over the top. This has been so much pressure from MOCKIT.
Still not able to find the back of that net. Credit going to Excel, able to hold him off. The small little touches to maintain possession. Some of these shots just not finding their mark like they were previously.
It's up to Pashy right now in the back. He's got space and he'll play it away. Fairy Peak gets demolished, which means he spawns behind him. They'll be able to get the save. Ooh, Freaky and Fairy Peak nearly miscommunicating and just letting that one roll straight in. They'll get it away. Freaky now. Pashy up as well. Next to the side. Sends us down. Fairy Peak now towards Niels. Dropping back down. Next into the middle. Pashy pops it over the top of 1. They'll let Fairy Peak pass it back towards him. Tries to bring in Zenzis. Now Freaky up. Slowly bringing out 1 defender, but they're doing it so slowly that the defender they bring out has time to rotate back before the other one comes back. The other one gets drawn out. Now Pondex with a shot. Pashy gets the block. They were able to move this down the field on a lot of space given by MOCKIT.
I don't know what is happening with this MOCKIT team. Like, I'm glad you guys are getting the passes and just kind of playing patty cake with it. But these passes have been slow and lofted, very easy to read for Excel.
Bench in the middle. Pashy looks for it, finds it underneath Pondex, but it's wide of the goal. Now Freaky up, gets the touch, goes towards the net. Does it go in? No, it's wide. Pondex will continue to follow it away from his corner. Approaching the 3-minute mark here of overtime. Getting into quite a long one right now. MOCKIT would love to finally finish this off. An open net here. Can Fairy Peak do this? He wants to make sure he does it right. Flicks it over the top of Pondex. Niels gets the stop, but it's soft. Freaky able to turn and put it onto the wall. Over the top of 2. Fairy Peak shot towards net. Blocked by Pondex. Pashy comes in, but Pondex is there. He'll back off and just wait for this. Just try to keep the offense going instead of going for the last-ditch effort. And now for the ceiling shot towards the goal. Zenzis will play it away. Wasn't quite on target. Another savior medal for Zenzis here as this game just continues to drag on.
Not the best ceiling shot from Pashy, but a pass and a bounce off. Oh my goodness, what?
Goes in here, Fairy Peak finally to finish it off after 3 minutes and 36 seconds of overtime.
I mean, that's a really cool pass play and goal, but I don't think he meant to do that whatsoever.
No, they will take it at this point. As MOCKIT will get 2 in a row. First time we've seen that happen at this point. These guys so close. And a 2-1 game. The scoreline makes it look like it's very defensive when you just look at the score, but there's so many shots on both sides as well. These guys, just back and forth. This is 9 from both. Yes, 9 on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, it just seems to be that it's these subtle things. And for Excel as well, like, they were given space to do something with it, and a lot of the reason why they were successful previously is because of a player like Zenzis that wasn't afraid to just bring it down and take solo plays into account. I mean, you saw it towards the end there, like Freaky had the ability to just turn around and put pressure on a ball that sat there for seemingly like 3-4 seconds. And he's like, nah, Pash will come get it, it's fine.
Yeah.
And he just backs off. It's like, why not apply that pressure continuously? Force them to draw somebody out, because Pash has still got to go get boost, and, you know, Freaky's still got to get in position anyway. But just opportunities all over the board, nobody really taking full advantage of it.
Yeah, and Pashy can breathe a sigh of relief knowing the open net that he missed in the middle of the game, not going to really impact him here. Right. Something he can forget about there, which is just not, it's just so rough. When we've been talking about just how good of a game he's been having, how good of a series he's been having, how accurate he's been continuously there, to miss that one shot that was made available to him, it's a rough one there, but it goes away. They get the win, and now 1 game away from beating Excel and qualifying for Season 4 lane.
I mean, you want to talk about contradicting points. He misses that open net, and then the goal that does go in to win it is one that bounces up and over from someone on the other team. Like, all right, you guys, welcome to Rocket League, the stuff that doesn't make any sense. It's cool.
No, sometimes the stats are just there for fun, you know. But these guys now, 1 game away. What does Excel need to do differently? How do they need to change things up? The thing I noticed, I think, mostly was I felt like Pondex could have been making better touches in net. I think that the open net that Pashy missed there was entirely on a whiff from Pondex, and he felt like a lot of his touches were straight up. He's the player who's punting the most right now in Excel, instead of making meaningful touches downfield and being able to be an effective part of the offense.
Yeah, he hasn't really, like, he is making saves. He's making touches that are buying the team time, but it's kind of like a temporary Band-Aid, and they're just having it ripped off immediately once this team of MOCKIT comes back and scores. They need to find something that can transition from that one part of the field where they do make the initial save back to the other side of the field, because none of the pressure is consistent. It's just, okay, we put a shot on net and it's relieved, and now we're back under the defensive side for the next minute and a half as MOCKIT just kind of slowly works their way through.
Yeah, so will they be able to bounce back here? We'll find out. Going to get into that game ever so momentarily. Very, very soon. It's a very quick moment. There you go. See, told you. Really
ever
fast.
So momentarily.
Whenever we start to say things like that, they know that I always feel like the audience is like, oh, it's gonna be 5 minutes or something like that. But nope, it was literally a moment.
Just a moment.
Get
a moment brought to you by Wavepunk.
That's right. Your favorite moments. Could possibly be the final game for Excel here in Season 4 if they are unable to find the win. They have to find 3 straight at this point. We'll start on the offense. And after barely missing out last season, MOCKIT hungry for the victory.
They did make it last season. Pashy didn't with Gale Force.
Oh, you know, that's a great point.
Yes.
So
totally different team, but I know what you're feeling.
Yes, Pashy and Freaky both barely missed out.
Yes.
Fairy Peak did make it, and the MOCKIT organization did make it. This is actually an interesting point. NRG, so far the only org to qualify who has been to LAN before. And of the orgs we have today, the only 2 who could possibly qualify have been before is MOCKIT and Flipside. So a maximum of 3 repeat organizations at LAN this year.
The more you know. Wish I could put like a little graphic of like the star with the rainbowy thing. Whee! Maybe that's what the new situation for Rocket League will be. You do that with the party time because there's plenty of balloon colors. It works out, right?
A great goal explosion. I'd be all over that. MOCKIT. I'm going to play a lot of defense here at the beginning of game 5.
What is everybody doing?
I don't know. Just this game. So here comes Pondex. He'll put that one through. Pondex switching back to the Batmobile. See if it'll make a difference here for him. Excel scores first.
I mean, that was just ugly Rocket League. Everybody jumping, nobody really knowing what's going on. Pondex just like, all right, well, I guess I'll do it.
Goals free? Okay, thanks. Puts it through. We saw yesterday for NRG and make a difference when Jacob switched off of Batmobile into Dominus. Was able to put his hat back on. I made a big one, and then here's just a free goal from MOCKIT. We talked about it. It's been a story. Once one team scores, the follow-up tying goal is always just moments behind between these 2 teams.
Yeah, it just happens to be a double commit coming out from this Excel team. 2 going up for the same aerial. And it's almost as if they wanted to go for a pinch, but neither one got real contact on it, so it just falls right into his lap.
Pashy will not miss that open goal. Puts that one through, and we've got a tie game in game 5.
Who would have guessed?
Excel again winning the kickoff here. Pashy has to play to the side. The pinch from Niels. Go back towards the box. Fairy peek off the wall. Will be able to keep it near the ceiling, which puts it all the way back in the orange box. Now Freaky passes in. Niels on the ground, the loft from Pashy, Fairy peek to follow it and get the read, puts it through. MOCKIT's got the lead back.
What a dunk coming out from Fairy peek on this one. Niels Cook just plays that perfectly into the middle, ready for MOCKIT. Just makes an easy tap inside and then just kind of a sitting duck in that situation. He's like, I've got nothing I can do for pressure here. Fairy peek makes a fantastic shot.
That kickoff won wholly by MOCKIT. On the singular touch from Pashy as well. She'd have had nothing to do with it. Pashy will get the blocking goal as well. Send it away from Pondex now. Fairy peek and Pashy. She's got Niels to work with right now. Zen comes in from the side. Shot will be wide. Pondex over the top of Freaky. Here's Fairy peek. He's got Freaky to work with him. The cherry pick right now. Niels will put it back out to midfield. Zen was this with a shot towards net. Pashy to loft. Freaky to clear. Fairy peek to transition here. Clean team plays from MOCKIT. The shot from Pashy saved by Zenzis. As Fairy peek goes back in the middle. Pashy over the top of 2. Fairy peek looks for the soft touch but doesn't find it, and it'll go to the corner. Niels is out of rotation right now, but they get it past Freaky as well. Evening it up, and then Pondex with a transition downfield. Fairy peek with a solid read to send it back away as we cross halftime. Still the 1-goal lead right now for MOCKIT. They can hold on to this. Be the only win they need today.
I do like what Excel did there on their defensive side. Just those quick little soft touches. Nothing crazy moving downfield, but they're maintaining possession, forcing someone to commit to it, and then they transition downfield. At least they're getting something for nothing in that situation, rather than just throwing away possession, giving it right back to MOCKIT as they put another shot on net.
And the team plays blocked away by the European MVP, but still, this is not the situation they want to be in. The pressure from MOCKIT just mounting. You can see Freaky hanging in the back. Last goal we saw from Excel was on a breakaway when all 3 MOCKIT players were deep in enemy territory. They're not making that mistake right now. They're leaving a defender back and trusting their 2 offensive players to win their 50-50s, and it's working right now. With 1:35 left to go, it's still the 1-goal lead for MOCKIT. Excel's got their work cut out for them. They've got to get this down. They've got to find a way to score. Pondex up and onto the wall, but Fairy peek sends it away to block the follow-up shot from Excel. As it has just been a MOCKIT ball game so far. 1:20 left on the clock, and Fairy peek puts another in.
Another wide open net in favor of MOCKIT. Just, you see even 2 players going up, no one there to punish it. They're just trying to create something. This Excel team is spreading the field very well, but the issue is they're slowing their pace when they do it. It's great to be in multiple positions on the field, but unless you're moving quickly, there's no way for you to transition from offense to defense fast enough, and it leaves it, again, wide open for this MOCKIT squad.
Now their sheet-up kickoffs come out again, but not able to put it into the net. And it is critical for them to score this next goal. They need the 1-goal score margin. They need to be able to use that 0-second time. Ball makes it all the way down the field. Zenzis misses on the backboard. It's starting to look like panic on the side of Excel. These guys missed out on LAN last year as well. They weren't as close as MOCKIT, but you know it's every team's dream in the RLCS to make it there, to be able to play for the world title. Let's go to try and wrap this one around. He's got Freaky right behind him. We'll just go for the back pass. Ashy will pick it up in the corner. Killing the ball. We'll just play in MOCKIT's favor. This one rolling all the way back down, killing a lot of time off the clock. Only 24 seconds remaining. They have to score immediately for Excel if they want to be able to do this. This is not the plays they need. Pashy slowing it down, gets it past two, puts it into the box. Freaky will keep it there. And now Niels is taking it down the field. He's still got Fairy Peak to deal with. He gets it past him as the clock counts down. He has to put this in immediately, and then they need a kickoff goal. Zenza's shot towards net blocked by Fairy Peak, and he'll send it away. With that, MOCKIT qualifying for Season 4 land. They've been there so many seasons before, and they'll do it again here. Congratulations.
Congratulations indeed for MOCKIT, just playing that well towards the end, just subtle things on their way, taking advantage of the space given to him yet again, slowing it down, making sure to work that clock, not taking any mistakes out of it, and it pays off. MOCKIT on top, 4-1 in the series, as Gibbs, I'm pretty sure, predicted. It comes out, and I hate it when he's wrong.
You hate it when Gibbs is wrong?
I hate it. I love it when Gibbs is wrong. I hate it when he's right.
Yeah, sure.
Gibbs, boo. That's what I want to say.
That's fair. They're MOCKIT, one of the few organizations to be at every single LAN. These guys, they've played in the World Finals twice, and they'll be trying to do it again here. Pashy was in one of those games. Also Fairy Peak, just on different teams, on different MOCKIT rosters, different years.
Yeah, it's just something about this MOCKIT team. Always towards the end of the season, they start to heat up, and then they take second at the finals.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to try and break that again this season. They're working towards it, and congratulations to them. They're going to be in Washington, D.C.
Absolutely.
Another chance at it, man.
Fantastic series here with Excel. Quite an exciting way for us to start off our European Regional Championships. We got a lot more Rocket League in store for you. For right now, let's head back to the desk.
MOCKIT securing their spot in the World Championships. You're going to see them in Washington, D.C., and I got to say they deserved it after that performance. And before Gibbs says it, he was right, and he was right in fantasy. Go ahead.
#1, baby. Woo!
#1 in fantasy.
It's because I gave OCE T-shirts at the last LAN, so they pay me back with this week. So thank you.
There you have it.
OCE.
Let's check out the Mobile One High Performance replay. What a play from MOCKIT here. Again, Rocket League is all about showing up and playing. When it counts, when it matters, best of 7. MOCKIT came into this, I think, and they're like, you know what? We want to go to Washington, D.C. We want to make this trip, and they proved it. I think they proved they're the better team, and they're going to take it to Washington, D.C.
Really, the real winners here, definitely MOCKIT. Week 5, it was so close between these two teams. Pashy had an insane Game 5, scoring 5 goals, where, well, he picked up right where he left off. 7 out of 13 goals for Pashy, also picking up 3 assists. Niels said, I don't think Pashy's going to have another standout week. Well, guess what? He did.
He did once again, and 3 one-goal games, though. Excel was in this series. There's some unfortunate goals like that overtime goal from Fairy Peak. Super unfortunate. But MOCKIT controlled most of those overtime plays anyway, so you kind of have to give it to him. At some point, it's going to go in. And then Excel, just a few too many wide open nets towards the end of the series that really cost them. After they were playing so well, I thought that they didn't need to necessarily double commit or push so many people up. But they do. MOCKIT was so smart with their passing and just getting quick goals when they needed it, and that was pretty much the entire difference.
Yeah, although Fairy Peak won the clutch playmaker for league play, Freaky was insane with his passings. He had 7 assists this game, or this series. He was on point. So many good passes just right out in front of net. And Freaky was a big catalyst of those passes, but also everyone was really getting involved with those great center balls. Not even, sometimes they were using the corner really effectively, but they just were always looking to pass first instead of taking that selfish shot, and that put them over the top.
And, you know, it was 4-1, but I think, as I think, James, you mentioned, Excel did play it close. Those were some very close games in there. And, you know, Excel, their season, the regular season is done for Excel. But Niels Cook, regular season MVP. Can we talk a little bit about Excel, guys? Because this is the team that I think a lot of people weren't necessarily expect them to do as well as they did. But they rose up, and they had a phenomenal season, I think.
Yeah, Excel, they were like a combination of the 2 last place teams from last season. A lot of people thought they would be in that bottom 7th or 8th spot once again, but they proved everyone wrong, and they came in 5th, and they just slowed down a little bit towards the end of the season. I thought Zenza's had a great start to the season and then was relatively quiet down the stretch, and I think that cost them. But this is a good season for them. I think they have a lot to look forward to going into next season. Hopefully the 3 of them will stay together.
Yeah, absolutely. Kaunos, Penta, Pondex being from Penta, they I think performed well based on expectations. I agree with you. So I think they're just going to go back to the drawing board and try to remain top 6 next season.
Yeah, I think they have to be feeling good, though, because they're into next season. We are going to see them again. I'm excited to see how they do in the next season. But MOCKIT is a story right now. Congratulations, advancing to the World Championships with that victory over Excel. We have one more team from the European region to decide who is going to Washington, D.C., and it's the match that's coming up next. We're going to take a short break here from twitch.tv/Rocket League. But when we come back, it's becoming a classic matchup of the European Titans for a spot in the Washington, D.C. World Championships. It's Gale Force versus Flipside.